Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Valagar Aloevain back for some more Dungeons & Dragons Online. So for this quest here, we are on to our second part of the Evening Star Chain 2. So again, we need to head back into the cavern. Then we're going to want to select our portal and go to Shindoran. Now if you don't have these options on here, do check out my previous videos on how to actually get to get into Shindoran from inside the Underdark. Kind of a process. Now once here, you will port, if this is your first time being here and you haven't yet clicked on this portal here, you will just port to the entrance of the Underdark here, in which case you just want to circle up and around. Now for this quest here, which is the slaves, we do want to head off to where our other quest, which was Rusted Blades, and then we actually want to head south once we head through that gate. Now as you're making your way around, you will notice a scroll by the door. These are our journals if you do want to pick them up. They're worth a little bit of XP, so it's not complete waste. Now at this point you do want to head south across our bridge. Now before we cross this bridge, I do want to point out that down the side here, I don't know if you can see it just above the words. You know what I can do? I can actually toss on our goggles here. Way over there on that rock, we do have another scroll. Now, as we're going here, we do need to head off to the left to go through there. Before we do, however, we do have a scroll right here. As well, just up that hill, there can be a possible rare encounter, which does not look like he is home, but we'll check nonetheless because it's right here. And actually, he is up. So all we need to do is kill the slave guy. It does free these, which you can free, but freeing them here doesn't actually do anything. If you're still in the Underdark, obviously it has that option in your Slayer. Alright, so let's get to the quest here. So the first part of this quest, you're actually in slave pens. Now if you do happen to have some good skills for open lock, you can actually passively open the locks on all the doors, making it a little bit easier as you don't actually have to fight. So for these quests, I am going to actually be wearing my goggles, so I do apologize. It will be a little bit darker, but not too much. So again, you can attack the doors, or you can use open lock on the doors. Now if you attack the doors, after each door it will spawn a fight, so picking the locks definitely makes it a little bit easier to go through. Now I want to point out that there are two doors that once you get in a little bit further, they are going to have a lot higher open lock DC than the rest of these doors. So don't worry if you can't get those two. Again, I will point those ones out. So we got another one here. Alright, so these two right here have higher than the rest of them. This one's slightly lower, and then this one is the highest. So if you can pick this door right here, which hopefully I can. Yep, one with a success on a 1. So if you can pick this one, you can definitely pick them all. Here we go. And then our final door right here. Now once you've picked or broken all the doors, it will spawn in guard captain just down there. which we do need to fight. Now, aside from the guard captain, if we head back around here, up and around, we are going to have another optional. Now, there is a little trick to this optional here. Now, the trick is there are 3 of these things throughout the quest. And you know what? This quest is actually easy enough. I will show the full run. So what you want to do is you want to head into the tower. Inside here, you are going to have a bunch of breakables. And then you're going to have an Aloevain artifact. Now, here's the trick. If you have multiple people, you can actually have each person open up the window. Oh, looks like they picked a fight they weren't ready for. Alright, so if you go here, you can actually interact with the altar. And now, if you have multiple people, each person can interact with the Aloevain relic, and then select to break it, and it will give you multiple counts. So if you actually have 3 people, all 3 people can break the same relic, giving you the optional immediately. As you see, the optional is not worth a whole lot, but it's not too bad. Now, what might have happened there with Shira is, as soon as you actually come in here and start approaching the relic, just on the other side of the door, it is spawning in some enemies. So hopefully we don't get stuck in loading. Yeah, right here. So on your way out, just watch yourself. Now, as you can see, the Blade Masters, they do have a fairly large hit point pool, so it takes a little bit longer to take these ones out. Alright, so here we go. Alright. So at this point here, what we need to do is actually just head off to the west and kind of pick a fight with these guys now. And it seems our guard captain is one of our event champions. Now I do want to point out, for us, the event is still going on. Now, my favorite trick for these guys is to actually bring them back to this point. You can actually climb up the ladder here. Yes, they will throw things at you, but at the top, they cannot path to you. So all they can do is use their range damage, which, as none of them are actually archer types, is fairly low for the most part. Alright. Now another thing is, as you'll notice, sometimes some guys don't make it around. You can actually run on this ledge here to get all the way to the side if need be. Of course, our Treasure chest is in the wall. Oh. There we go. Get it from the right angle anyway. Awesome. Alright. Now, once that main fighting group is defeated, we can actually proceed through the door. Now, there are a few points where it's actually going to have a singular enemy, which you do want to just blast on. Now, there's another trick here with freeing these slaves. Now, if you can actually get multiple people to open up the window, which on this one you actually can't, it's just the one. But most of the slaves that you'll find here, you can open up multiple windows and actually get multiple counts for the same guy. So such as these ones here. So we'll start with this one here just to show you. So we're gonna select this first collared slave. We'll have Shira use their ability first, so you'll watch their number. Okay, so even though they failed, we can actually still use the thing to disable them. So we'll try again. See if they have. Alright, so it does seem that they don't have. But as you can see, we're both able to give it a try at least. So we can use disable, and they failed. So if you have multiple people who can do it, it would give you count for 2 of them on each person. Which makes it an easy way to get that optional there. Alright, so once you enter in this room, you're going to want to actually head to the back right here as fast as you can. And just prepare. It's going to spawn in a guy. Honestly, for Reaper, he's not that terrible. Take him out. And then as soon as he dies, this door here is going to open up and it's going to be the same thing. Now you do want to, again, if you can, try to save the slaves. So that we can get that bonus there for you guys. Now obviously, if you have to kill the slaves, it's not the end of the world. There we go. Now, also in this room, right along this back wall, we're going to have another hidden door. This is going to lead to another relic. So as soon as we get in here, we are spotting some traps. Now with this spell ward, if you are getting a blocked message, just back up a little bit. It just means you're too close. And from here, we're going to head into the Slave Master's Tower. Now, this door here is locked. It does require a key. However, you can also pick the lock as well. So once in here, another thing that's interesting, you can actually get these spell wards from this side of the fence, which makes it kind of cool. Makes it a little easier for later on when we're on the other side. So again, as I was mentioning before, if you both get the option here, you can break the relic. So if you notice, we have 2 right now left. Shira, go ahead. So we have 1. Now I can select it. And we got the option for breaking the same relic twice. So it's a neat little extra easy way to get that experience. But if you are going after the matron, which we will do because this is for a full run here, then it doesn't matter if you do that. You still need to go to all 3 relics and break all 3 in order for the matron to spawn, as they will spawn on whatever is your 3rd relic broken. Alright, so through the door here, we're going to want to head around our corner, where we're going to have a few drow. Alright, so at this point here, this is actually going to be the door leading to the end of the fight. However, we do still have 2 slave masters to go. We have one heading off to the east, which will actually do this one here first. And then we have one off to the south there. So this one here spawns in right here in this little corner. There we go. Now, what I recommend doing with these guys is freeing them as soon as possible. As you'll notice, shortly thereafter, because we were able to kill those bosses fairly quick, it's just spawning in some additional guys here. And this puts all your guards onto them. So all our slaves are coming to assist. Now if you do need a few additional slaves, you can always head through the door right here. There'll be another little room with slave master, but we'll be we should be good actually. I'm honestly not too worried about getting them all for you. Alright, so here we'll head south again. Again, if you get in the blocked message, just back up. Now if you do set the trap off, it is going to spawn in these guys here from the door. However, if you disable it before setting it off, they will never actually be alerted to your presence. Which is a nice little thing. Now in this room, if they do get alerted, you might as well come in. There are a bunch of breakables. Alright, so our next part here is again through this door, and we're going to have another one of our named slave masters. So for this one, you just want to rush past everyone. And they're going to be in this back corner right here. Now on top of this, again, I do recommend if you can, free them as fast as possible, as it does spawn in a whole bunch of spiders in here. And again, it's just nice to have the extra distractions. And honestly, as a quote-unquote distraction, they do actually a decent amount of damage as well. Now, what I want to point out is that door that we had unlocked. If you don't have the capability to unlock it, it would actually be, the key is located through the door there. So you would pull this lever, you'd head in here to where all the webs are, pull the, or I think it's just in there. But either way, it's through this door, and there's just a lot of spiders. So as we don't have to go in there, we're gonna skip that room there. So once you have all the slave masters killed, we do want to head back to where our shrines are, and then we can proceed off to the west. Now this is leading towards the end of the area. At this point, you should also have, if you are doing things correctly, one of the relics left. That'll actually be through this door right here, this hidden door. So here we're going to have a couple of spell wards. One here and one off here as well. Once you grab those, we're going to go ahead and pull our lever here. We're going to have another one. Now what's unique and actually hasn't been done in any other quest is at the back here we do have a lever. Now you'll notice here it does have a disabled device on it that actually disables flame jets on the side. So we do want to disable the device and then pull these levers. Once the levers are pulled, we're going to want to just exit first past this first door and then head south. And we're going to go through the Slave Master's Tower. Now because we've already gone through and broken the other two relics, we're actually going to have the matron appearing on this side here. So the matron fight will take place here, just at the top. So you'll see the House Dragoloth and a priestess. So with priestesses, they like to kill and sacrifice their allies in order to heal themselves up. So I definitely recommend taking out the allies first, so the guards, before the priestess. Once the guards are dead, then definitely take out the priestess, as she's the next big annoying threat. So as you'll notice here, we are bypassing his DR. For these guys, I believe it is actually cold iron and good. So it's one of those dual ones there. Now once they die, we will get a chest spawning it right about here. And of course chest means loot. And this is one of those matron chests that can actually drop the house rings. So in this case, this is House Avathul. So it would drop the House Avathul ring. Or can drop the House Avathul ring. Which we did not get. I did get a Ruby of Frost though, so. And again, if needed be, you can break the other relic. Again, if you are solo there. Alright, so at this point, all we need are 4 more slaves, which can be found in our final room. Now the final room also has an optional, which is to not kill any slaves. That one is actually very, very difficult and very, very finicky. Now it used to be that once you would open the door and start the fight, you can actually drag the boss out down this hall and fight him here, and none of them would get their aggro. So you would hit him once, let him run here. But now with the new aggro mechanics, obviously he does drag everybody out with him. And the optional itself will not trigger until you head into the room, regardless. So even if we were to shoot him here, drag him out here, and fight him here, ultimately we would still have not gotten the optional. So in order to get the optional, my best recommendation is drag him out here, fight him here with single target attacks, if at all possible, and then have a tank run into the room. yeah, just let me know when you're good there, Shira. We also have a Carnage Reaper in there as heads up. So you'll just get everything going, and yeah, so you'd have your tank run into the room. He'd get the aggro of the room, which would then also get the optional. And then from there, you just finish them off. Alright, it does seem like Shira is good to go. So I'll let you target the boss, and I will focus on the Carnage Reaper there. So again, you get the optional experience for not killing any of these little guys here. So you'll notice there that Shira is kind of rushing into the room. If you want to head a little bit further there, Shira, just get that optional. So there's that optional not to kill anyone. Or any of the slaves. Now again, it used to be a little bit different how it worked. Now, I like using this method as, for whatever reason, they get slow on the ramp. There he goes, and as you'll see, we didn't actually kill any of the slaves, so we got a little extra bit of experience. Now obviously once it's done, you can kill off the trash, or my favorite method, free the slaves and let them have some fun. As there are a lot of slaves in here. This is also a great place to, oh, can't use repair. Oh, yeah. So as you see, they're just absolutely ganging up on them and taking them out. So as you see, this also has a large amount of actual slaves in here. So if you do still need optional for saving the slaves, this is definitely a great room. Now the downside is these slaves do respawn. So if you do kill them while you are fighting, they will eventually respawn. Now in the chest here, you can get some named items. Honestly, the named items from this content, not really worth it in my opinion. It's very outdated. But some of it is still just nice to have. Anyway guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's been a blast, and I will see you guys later. Have a good one all.